But Biocon is the stock on our radar right now. The company has completed the wave 2 of the integration of the acquired biosimilar business from Viatris. The integration is for the North American markets, which is the largest piece by value for the biosimilar business. And just 60 days after the company integrated the business in over 70 emerging market countries, my colleague Ekta caught up with Shreehas Tambe, who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at Biocon, began by asking him about this latest integration and the next milestone. Listen in.
First, on the North America piece, having transitioned the largest piece by value, I think the important next steps for us would be to make sure we consolidate on the strong foundation that Viatris has built for us in this market. We're very happy that over 100 colleagues from Viatris will be coming over on the commercial side to Biocon Biologics. So the first focus for us in the immediate future would be consolidating the business that we have in North America. And then given that we have a series of products launching in that particular market in the coming quarters, we really are looking forward to growing the Biocon Biologics brand in the United States and in Canada. The third wave of our transition will, of course, be Europe and the other advanced markets. And we've said that we will do that before the end of this fiscal, and we are on track for that as well.
Okay. Well, let's talk about specific biosimilar opportunities in the US then. Aflibercept, the biosimilar which is used for macular degeneration and cancer. The company has received Health Canada approval. There is a judgment, we do understand, which is pending in the US markets. What is the status of that and approval timelines?
So this is biosimilar Aflibercept, a biosimilar to a drug called Eylea. And we have a first-to-file status here from an asset that we acquired from Viatris as a part of this deal. You're right that we are in a litigation with the originator in the United States, but we have received conditional approval from Canada, and also we have the recommendation from EMA in Europe. So we feel very confident about the science, about the dossier. And I think we are looking forward to the outcome of the court proceedings to see how we can bring that product to patients in the United States and other parts of the world.
What is your guidance then on the launch of the diabetes biosimilar insulin aspart? Have you heard from the US FDA on the 8 observations which were issued to the Malaysia facility? It wasn't a product-specific inspection, but nonetheless, if you could guide us on that. And the launch timeline for bevacizumab as well.
Yeah. So as you rightly said, Ekta, this wasn't the inspection that we had in Malaysia wasn't specific to aspart. It was a CGMP inspection. And we went through that inspection. We feel very confident. We've talked about it in the past as well. We've responded to the observations with a very comprehensive CAPA plan. And we're looking forward to hear from the agency on what whether these CAPAs are acceptable to them. On aspart specifically, we believe we should have an approval towards the end of the year, but we haven't heard from the agency specifically as yet on that. We've heard that they would need a pre-approval inspection. We will seek clarity whether they will accept our current inspection towards that end or not. On bevacizumab, we've said that we've responded to the CRL. So we have sent our comprehensive response to the agency, and we are quite confident and hopeful that the agency sees the responses as adequate, and we should have that approval coming over as well soon.
Okay, and what about adalimumab? Is there also an interchangeable opportunity there?
So adalimumab, we've already, as we got that asset over from Viatris, that particular interchangeability trial had already been started. So that interchangeability trial is currently ongoing, and we will see that interchangeability status come to us over the coming quarters.
What can you guide us as well as the market when it comes to your total debt on books, which stands at around $1.4 billion?
So as we've said, even in the past, that we feel very comfortable with the level of debt that we are operating under at this stage. We understand very well that historically we've been a very debt-free organization, a company that has not had any debt on our books. So it's very different from what we're doing. But we are also right now realizing a very transformational opportunity from where we were before the acquisition to where Biocon Biologics is going to be. So it's a very, very unique opportunity for Biocon Biologics. We feel confident given the response that we're seeing for our products, not just in the United States, but in Europe and other parts of the world, that the operating performance being strong, we'll be able to service debt through the business performance itself. And we've seen, interest in equity fundraise that we talked about in the past. And you should hear from us, in the days ahead on how we performed against that piece as well. So we see this debt one at a comfortable level, but we will look to bring this down, as we've said in the past, in the coming days.
To how much? What would a comfortable level be?
Yeah, and I think it's really a question of, when we are clearly, creating value in the organization, then do we really dilute in the immediate term? At what value do you dilute? And then do you want to hold on and do this when you've actually created more value and closer to the IPO? So these are some of the questions that we would be dealing with. And we will have to make a determination of what that right debt to equity ratio would be before we make that call. I'm not going to discuss specific ratios today, but clearly we will be moving from where we are today to a much better ratio.
And what about the IPO?
On the IPO too, we've said right now our focus is that we will consolidate this business. We will integrate the Viatris acquired business into Biocon Biologics. You're seeing that we had a 2-year TSA with Viatris, but we've been able to significantly accelerate that period. All of this goes on to say that the organization feels confident. We believe that we should be in a position to at least be a year ahead of what we said in terms of the integration plans. Will then be the right time to start discussing the specifics around the IPO timing.
All right, that is the latest from Biocon Biologics, with the Viatris acquisition now fully integrated.